Good morning and happy second day of school. Here's a quick rundown of our agenda for the day. So item number 1, we will review our expectations from yesterday. Item number 2, I will introduce you to a friend of mine. Number 3, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to use Kami. Now, Kami is a program that has already been installed on your Chromebook. It is to help you complete and turn in assignments from your computer. And lastly, I am going to give you an assignment so that you can practice using Kami. That way, if you have any questions, we can get all of that figured out and taken care of. All right, guys, so we are going to talk about expectations, what I expect of you. And just as a heads up, anything I expect of you, I expect of myself also. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. All right, expectation number 1. There are 4, by the way. Expectation number 1 is be respectful. This is number 1 because it is very, very important to me. I expect you to be respectful of your peers, other adults in the classroom. I expect you to be respectful towards me and me towards you as well. I expect you to also respect our belongings. So any materials that we might have in our classroom or at home that we're sharing, anything like that, you need to take care of it as though it's your own. I want you to kind of think about what it might look like to be respectful, what it might sound like. Get those thoughts kind of in your head. You can pause it for a second if you want. All right, one of my biggest things also is if somebody else comes in our room, I don't care if it's another student, another adult, teacher, anyone, I expect you to greet them, use your manners, give them the utmost respect. They are a visitor, they are a guest, we want to show them what we're all about. All right, expectation number 2 is be responsible. Now, this is a big one in 5th grade. You guys are getting a lot more thrown at you, and you have to kind of step up to the plate a little bit here. So be responsible means that you are showing up to class or maybe a Zoom meeting on time, that you have all the materials that you need ready to go. Being responsible also, to me, it means that if you don't understand something, you need to be responsible and you need to ask. You got to use your voice and speak up and say, hey, I don't get this, I need help. Anything like that. That's part of being responsible in 5th grade. There's going to be a lot of things that you might not understand, and that is totally okay, not a problem at all. But you are responsible to get clarification if you need it. Now, if you're at home, that might look like sending me an email, something like that, and I will be responsible in turn and get back to you as soon as I possibly can. There are a lot of ways that you could be responsible in 5th grade. So again, if you want to pause and think about that, go ahead. All right, expectation number 3, this is a big one. It says be honest and kind. And let's just be real for a second here. We all make mistakes, and this year we are all going to make mistakes, and it's okay. But my biggest expectation in that regard is that you would be honest. When you make a mistake, let me know right away. Or if I ask you something, you got to tell me. Be honest with me, because there is nothing you can do that I will not forgive. There is nothing, and when I say nothing, I mean nothing. There's nothing you can do that I won't forgive or that I can't help you work through in some way. The quicker you are to be honest with me, the better I will be able to help you find the solution to that problem. And I want you to understand too, I'm on your team. Like, I want to help you. Please don't lie to me. I'm going to say it again. Please don't lie to me. Be honest. One thing that isn't just a waste of everybody's time is when we have to try to boil down to the truth. Be honest with me the first time, and there will be benefits to that, I guarantee you. Okay, expectation number 4 is follow directions. Now, again, while we're being honest, I am pretty particular about how I like you guys to do things. So sometimes I might ask you to do something a certain way, and you might be like, Miss Miller, this is silly. Why are we doing it like this? Keep in mind that there are 44 of you. There's one of me. And I just try really hard to make sure that everything flows as smoothly and seamlessly as possible. So when I ask you to do something, I need you to do it, first of all, but not only that, I need you to do it quickly. And most of the time, I'm gonna need you to do it quietly. And I'm also gonna need you to, if you don't understand, ask before I say go. I'm pretty good about when I give directions, the last thing I'll say to you is, what questions can I answer? And that is a time for you to stop and think, okay, do I know what I need to do? And if you don't, raise your hand and ask me. It's okay. All right, so those are our 4 expectations. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you how to complete an assignment with Kami. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and just teach you our lesson for today. So I suggest just watching through the video and then going back and doing the assignment on your own, and then you can refer back to the video if you have any questions. All right, so here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. So I have Google Classroom already opened. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and click on Miss Spiller's class. And I'm going to go over to the tab that says classwork. Okay, so your screen should look something like this. I'm going to click on under Thursday, August 20th, or the second day of school. I'm going to click on the assignment that says the Pineapple Project. And if you notice, I have this little emoji star I put there. That's so that you know, hey, this is something I need to turn in to Miss Spiller today. So I'm going to click on it, and you'll notice that there are 2 different things to click on right here. Now, this first top one, this is an additional Google Classroom Kami tutorial for you in case I missed something. So feel free to watch that if you want to, but this is where I really want you to look right now, the PDF. So I'm going to click on that. So this is just like a regular worksheet that you might do in class if you were with me. So what I'm going to do is open up Kami, that purple button up there, open up Kami. Then it says complete sign up. I'm going to pick role of a student. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, this is just a regular old worksheet. So what you're going to do is on the side, you can use all of these things. So for example, here's your little pointer. If you ever get confused, just go back to the pointer. Then here is a dictionary. So if you need to know the meaning of a word, you can look it up with this little dictionary. This little microphone is text to speech. So you could highlight a word. Let me see, like say I don't know how to say that word or what it is.
Carrot.
Click the text to speech and it'll read it to you. And it said carrot, talking about the Caribbean Indians. Okay, so then you can also click this one, and this is one that you're going to use a lot. It's the markup tool. So you can see it has a text highlighter or a box highlighter, and we're going to use both of those here in a minute. And then this is you could put a comment or a text box, and you can change font size. I just ask that you make it big for me to be able to read it. You can change the color. We're not going to use the equation one just yet. Drawing, shapes, and here is an eraser just in case you make a mistake. So I'm going to scroll down. This page in particular, it says Pineapples, a History. So it is just a little bit of history about pineapples here. And I'm going to scroll down so that you can see. And we're going to read this together, and then you have some questions down here. There are 5 questions for today, but if you keep scrolling, you're going to see you have text evidence sentence starters. So I gave you these little sentence starters to help you complete this assignment. So we have 4 right here, and we'll get to those in just a minute. But before we do, I am going to go ahead and read to you
this page, and we're gonna do the first question together. And then I'm gonna let you do the rest of it on your own. So here we go. It says, pineapples, a history. In 1493, Christopher Columbus and his crew were on their second voyage to the Caribbean region. They anchored in a cove off the lush volcanic island of Guadalupe. The Carib Indians offered a sweet and juicy slice of fruit as a gesture of friendship and hospitality. The sailors ate and enjoyed the strange new fruit. Columbus recorded in his journal that it had a rough, segmented exterior, much like a pine cone, and that its interior was firm like an apple. So exterior means outside, interior, inside. Other seafarers were also welcomed on other exotic tropical islands with this same succulent fruit. It said that when a sea captain returned home from a voyage, he would place a pineapple outside his home to let friends know that he had returned, and they were welcome to stop by and hear tales of his adventures at sea. This tradition eventually made its way to other parts of the world. In colonial America, it was used as a symbol of hospitality. Hospitality means like welcoming. Businesses and innkeepers would add the pineapple symbol to their signs and advertisements. Pineapples were also very expensive and spoiled easily, making them hard to find. Hostesses scrambled to have this popular new fruit adorn their tables to welcome dinner guests. The trend grew and has remained a tradition of hospitality and welcome for many years. All right, so now I can go through and let's read the directions to the questions first. It says, prove it. Answer each question with text-based evidence. Each response must have an evidence prompt included. Refer to your evidence bookmark for help. So I didn't give you a bookmark for this one, but I did give you a page at the bottom with sentence starters. So let's read our sentence starters really fast. It says, in paragraph blank, it said, and you would fill in the blanks. And then we have the author said, according to the text, based on what I read is the last one. So let's go look at question number 1. It says, where was Columbus when he first tasted this new fruit? Okay, so we have to have some text evidence to prove our answer. So I'm gonna go back up to the beginning, and it says, in 1493, Christopher Columbus and his crew were on their second voyage to the Caribbean region. They anchored in a cove off the lush volcanic island of Guadalupe. So that is where they first encountered this fruit. So I'm going to go to the markup tool, and I'm going to use my highlighter here, and I'm going to pick yellow is good for me. So I can highlight. I'm going to highlight those first 2 sentences. And then if you click off of it, it should be yellow right there. And then you could, if you wanted to, you could put a little comment or a text box. So I'm going to click over here to make a comment, and I'm going to put question 1, Q1. So I remember that's where I found the answer to question 1. So I'm going to scroll down now to my first question. Now, you'll notice you can't exactly type right here. So what I'm going to have to do is make my own text box. So I'm going to click right here, and then I'm going to start typing. So it says, where was Columbus when he first tasted this new fruit? Well, let me scroll down and get a sentence starter. I'm going to use the first one. In paragraph blank, it said, well, that was in the first paragraph. So I'm going to say, in paragraph 1, it said that Columbus, I'm going to capitalize Columbus, and his crew were anchored in a cove in the Caribbean region. near the island of Guadalupe. Now, guess what? I didn't spell things right. So all you have to do, left click, and it will change it for you. I'm sorry, right click, and it'll change it for you. And then you can scroll, you can adjust the size of your text box. And I forgot a period, so I'm gonna add a period there. I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger. Oop. So it says 14, let's try 18. Okay, there we go. And I can also up here, I can change my font. So like, maybe I like this KG True Colors one. That's kind of cool. So here's my answer. It says, in paragraph 1, it said that Columbus and his crew were anchored in a cove in the Caribbean region near the island of Guadalupe. Now, I kind of made my own words from what the author had said. If you would rather say exactly what the author said, that's fine. However you want to do it on this one. Other times as we go throughout the year, I might be a little bit more specific, but for right now, this is perfectly fine. Okay, so then I would go through and I would answer what you're going to be expected to do is go through and answer questions 2 through 5. Also, answer question 1 also. But then whenever you are done, I'm going to move my little screen. Actually, I'm going to close that for a second. It says, would you like to authorize with Google Drive? Yes, I want to authorize. And then I'm going to click the name that I'm using. Scroll down, it says, make sure you trust Cami, and you can allow that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and save and turn in. So it says, I'm going to just make sure, it says all changes were saved. It says last saved a few seconds ago, so it's all good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn in. Give it a second. It says turning in. And then there we go. It says done. Okay guys, so once you have finished your assignment and you've turned it in with Cami, just to make sure, you can go back to your assignment in Google Classroom. So if I click on it, and I scroll down, I can say view assignment, and then over here, it will say your work, and it says turned in. So and then you know it's totally turned in, and this is where you can also come to check your grade. So once I grade it and give it back, you can do the same thing, view assignment, and it will tell you your grade, and if I left any private comments or anything like that on your assignment for you. Also on this assignment, if like let's say you messed up and you wanted to do it again, you can say unsubmit and go back and redo it and then turn it in again. Some assignments I won't allow that to happen, but since this is our first one, no problem at all. But yeah, there you go. Okay, so that is how you turn in an assignment with Cami. So now it's up to you. You guys are going to go ahead and complete that assignment and get it turned into me before the end of the day. Okay guys, so I just thought of one other thing. So if you for some reason cannot get your Cami to work, if you can't highlight or add a text box, one troubleshooting idea I had was if you go over to these 3 little lines over here where my mouse is at the top and it says menu, click on that and then click OCR for scanned PDFs. Do that and it should work. If not, let me know and I will help you the best way that I can.